Hello and welcome to our critical thinking course. Today we're going to take a look at chapters 0 and 1 and see what we can extract out of that. So in the introduction we have several features that I want to note, and first is the applied nature of this course. Unlike a lot of philosophy courses that remain on an abstract level, we are interested not only in ideas but also in the direct use for those ideas. If we can't do something with it, we're less likely to remember it because there is no meaningful benefit to doing so. Our textbook and this class are all about applied critical thinking, things that you will have every reason to take out of the classroom and apply to every part of your lives, professional, personal, religious, family, take your pick. Now this is not a sales pitch. This method has been used by Fortune 500 companies for going on 6 years now. It has improved performance of multi-billion-dollar global industry. It has outperformed Wall Street. And all that is to say that the system is tried and tested. And if professionals can learn the basics of it in about 60 minutes, you should be able to master it in the 8 weeks that this class takes. Now in chapter 1, we focus on the difference between emotion and reason because bad ideas and significantly worse actions come from failing to recognize this distinction. This is a fight that happens inside each of us, order versus chaos. And fact of the matter is, our default setting is always emotional and chaotic. We all have the potential for reason, but that takes time and a lot of work. Not only do we have to learn how to use reason, but we're always fighting against our emotions. Now, for an applied understanding here, as you read, you should be thinking about where have you seen examples of these ideas in your life. For example, how many times have you watched people destroy something important to them, from jobs to friends, because of emotional things said in the heat of the moment? How many times have you done something you knew was a bad idea and deeply regretted it later? How is it that in the heat of the moment we get tongue-tied, but 10 minutes later we come up with the best comeback? The lessons from the first 2 chapters are also key components of psychology, specifically things like trauma therapy, including PTSD and depression. The ability to step back and examine what's happening before we act, before we make up our minds, is absolutely crucial to critical thinking. It is also crucial for not becoming a victim, whether a victim of narcissists and psychopaths or scams and other predatory practices. As we'll see, the vast majority of different ways that people get abused is based on emotional manipulation. Now the bad news is that you can never do away with your emotions, and so you always remain vulnerable. But the good news is that you can learn not to be so emotionally reactive and therefore be able to defend yourself against such threats. Now look, if you're out in the jungle, you can't do anything about the fact that there are tigers looking to kill you. But what you can do is learn to recognize the threat and find ways to avoid it. If there is a crazy killer looking to kill you, that's bad. You are in danger. But if you always know what they're planning and where they are, you're always able to avoid that threat. That's the role of critical thinking. Learning the difference between emotion and reason, its importance, and the benefits of having reason in charge is a great foundation for everything you do in life. I've had dozens of adult students tell me that teaching these lessons to their kids, 5 to 10-year-olds, has done wonders for their behavior. Just ask yourself, am I being emotional or rational right now? And being able to ask that question changes your whole outlook on what's going on and therefore how you should deal with it. And these are lessons that a 5-year-old can understand. Now sure, it's going to take a while to master, but your options are to start working on it or keep flailing about and having tantrums. On that note, think about the idea of tantrums. When a 2-year-old throws a tantrum, it's understandable, not pleasant, because they're trying to work out how to get what they want. When they're properly socialized, they learn that tantrums, which is just having an emotional meltdown, is not a successful strategy. And that's not because others don't like it, but because it doesn't get them what they want. So now they're forced to think about how they will get what they want, and therefore to critically analyze the situation and find a path that gets them to their goal. Now when a 20-year-old throws a tantrum, that tells us that they don't understand how reality works. The fact that I'm emotional over not having a job or having to pay the rent or whatever will not do anything to improve my situation. Since I want something, I need to think about how to get it. Also, I need to figure out what is it that I actually want. Lots of things seem like good ideas, but turn out not to be so good once we have them. Case in point, how many NBA players and such have gone after some girl because they think that's what they want, only to end up deeply regretting it later. If you think of Tiger Woods and his $99 million a year contract with Nike, he lost that contract because he got caught cheating. Now, if he were asked whether any of those women that he was cheating with were worth $99 million a year, there's no question that he would have answered no. So what happened is that he wasn't thinking about the consequences of his actions, he was just acting emotionally on an interest. With this distinction of reason as order and emotion as chaos, most of you are likely to have all sorts of questions, comments, and so on, and most of these will be covered in the following chapters, so read on. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.